Hey YouTube, wanted to talk about speaker placement today. This is a 15-inch powered speaker, which means it has a 15-inch subwoofer, and then of course it has the horn for your mid-range and your tops up here. What you're looking at right here is the typical height that I run my speakers at when I'm doing a mobile gig, wedding, class reunion, birthday party, school dance, whatever it may be. This is the typical height that I run them at. And there's a reason for that. Because when you have your speakers set up, you have to remember that although the subwoofer is not a directional speaker, in other words, it doesn't just shoot out in the direction that it's facing, bass actually projects out in all directions. You have to remember that this horn up here is a directional speaker, and it shoots directly out and to the sides to an extent, depending on the design of the speaker as to what that angle is. Some of them have a much wider angle and project out further to the sides. Some of them are much more narrow and project pretty much just straight forward. Here's the issue though. If you have this down too low, then that is going to be firing directly at right in front of you, and it's not going to be traveling over people's heads out to the rest of the room. And I will show you an example of the other way in just a moment. But with it up high like this sound is going to, you can see it's going well over my head. I'm of average height, about 5'9" tall. Certainly there are people much taller than me, but I'm average. So the average person, this is going to be going over their head. So you're not going to be blasting that person in the ear that is out on the dance floor that's right in front of you. You're not going to be blasting them with mids and highs. They'll be getting a face full of bass, but again, bass is not directional. So get your speaker up high so that it shoots out over the top of their heads and gets out to the entire room. Now, the wrong way to do it is this. Okay, now this is what I have seen from a lot of DJs, either in person or on gig logs on YouTube. This is actually at the lowest possible setting that I can put my speaker. In other words, you know how this pole has the hose in it that you put your safety pin through and lock that in. Well, this is the lowest possible setting, and I have seen many DJs with this exact setup with their speakers down this low. Now what I want you to pay attention to here is our horn. This is the mids and the highs, and this is hitting me, an average size height person of 5'9", right directly in the ear. So if I am out on the dance floor and I'm dancing, I am going to be getting blasted with mids and highs. Also, the second reason that this is wrong is because the people that are on the dance floor are going to be absorbing all of this, so people in the other part of the room may not be able to hear the music as well. They may not be able to hear an announcement when it's made as well. And I've heard every kind of excuse conceivable out there that, well, it's more stable this way, but I'm going to tell you right here, this is every bit. I checked it whenever I had it up at the tallest height, and this is every bit as unstable as it was up there. If somebody were to come around and hit it from that side over there, because this is where I've got the open end of it, in other words, there's not a leg right. There's not a leg right here, so this is a little bit more unstable coming in this direction. But let's back up here. It's just as unstable at this height as it is at that other. So two things that you can do with this. First off, make sure that you put the most unstable part in a direction in which it's least likely to get pushed over. So in other words, right now I've got a support leg directly behind the speaker. So let's think about it. If a person that is at your wedding comes up and they were to hit your speaker, chances are they're going to hit it from the front, because they're going to be walking up from in front of you. They come up, they bump into this speaker. Well, there's a leg back there that's going to keep them from pushing it over. So here's the thing. they're less likely to come up from behind, because you're not going to hopefully allow them to come in behind your table, and that's the way that this is the more likely to get pushed over, is directly toward the front. So position your legs correctly to where it's less likely to get pushed over. And then if you're really concerned with some rowdy party goers that might tip your speaker over, then get you some sandbags. But the thing that you can't do is use this lame excuse, I'm scared of my speaker getting tipped over, to give your client less than what they deserve. Because your client is paying you to play music, but they're also paying for that music to sound good. And if you are giving them less than the best sound quality that they can because of your speaker placement, you're doing a poor job as a DJ. So spend a little extra money, get you a couple of sandbags, spend a little extra time, bring them to your gigs, and anchor that side over there down so that you don't have to worry about this speaker getting pushed over. But do not use that as an excuse to give your client less than what they deserve. Okay, so Augie with Premier DJ Services, talking about speaker placement. Get those speakers up in the air like they should be, and give your customer the most for their money and the best sound that you can possibly give them. Practice and enjoy.